Today is Saturday, April 19th, 2025. So the message for today is freedom. Do you really want to be free? One, that's the first question. Do you really want to be free? The second question is, what does freedom look like to you? And the third question is, how would you handle freedom? So, one, do you really want to be free? Two, what does freedom look like to you? And three, how would you handle freedom? And they all kind of go together, so I really couldn't talk about one aspect of freedom without talking about the other, because one kind of leads into the other. So the first thing is, do you really want to be free? So we all talk about freedom, and if you think about being back in the slavery days and things of that nature, and if you think about when the slaves ran away, or when they escaped, or when they were given their freedom. Think about the many people that you know where they are afraid of freedom. Many people are afraid of freedom. So that's why the question is, do you really want to be free? Because many people are literally bone-shattering, soul-shaking, afraid of freedom. Because with freedom comes no restraint. With freedom is boundless. With freedom comes the ability to make your own decisions. That means that you will be responsible for the way that things are, because you have made your own decision. Each and every decision is yours and yours alone. So with freedom also comes responsibility. Freedom is expansive. Freedom, like I said, is boundless. Freedom is flow. Freedom can be ease if that's how we want it to be, or freedom can be harsh. Freedom is all about surrender. That's really what freedom is about, surrender. Surrender is letting go of in order to receive. And that's what freedom essentially is. So what does freedom look like to you? Whatever freedom looks like to you, whatever your definition of freedom is, will determine if you really want to be free. So if freedom to you is, having a job where you have climbed the corporate ladder, that is still, in a sense, a form of restraint. But to some people, that's freedom, because they think that finances is freedom. Finances can afford you a different lifestyle. Finances can afford you, the ability to do or access, and the ability to do things that you would not be able to do without it. So definitely finances are very important, but finances is not freedom. So if money is freedom to you, then a corporate, reaching that glass ceiling on the corporate ladder may be freedom to you. But is it really freedom? Is it truly freedom? Freedom to some people may be having their own business, which I mean, with everything, there's pros and cons. And so with having your own business, of course, there is, it's boundless. You can do whatever with that you want because it's yours. But it's still all about your state of mind, because even if you have your own business and you are seeking to, first of all, when you have your own business, your main goal should be your soul's purpose, for one. For two, usually your soul, well, not usually, but your soul's purpose will be to solve a problem for the masses. So if instead of you looking to solve a problem for the masses, if you are running your business off of ego, or if you are running your business off of pride, or if you are running your business off of vanity versus your soul's purpose in solving the problem for the masses, then are you really free? Is that really freedom? Because you are still, that's still dependent on what someone else thinks. That's dependent on what someone else feels. When you're into your soul work, people need that. It's needed. It's not about a want. People will recognize it because they need it. They will seek it because they need it. Now, how will you handle freedom? When you get freedom, will you be afraid? Will you shy away from it? Will you reject freedom because freedom is not control? Will you reject freedom because freedom does not come with restrictions? And you're used to restrictions, you're used to control, you're used to not being free. So will you reject freedom when freedom knocks at your door? Freedom is the thing that we all seek, that we all say that we want, that we all wish for, that we all hope for, that we all wish that our kids would experience, and that our grandkids will experience. But are we a good example on how to handle, manage, and nourish freedom? Do you manage freedom well? Will you be a good steward of freedom? These are just things to kind of think about, because sometimes the very thing that we ask for, sometimes the very thing that we yearn, the very thing that we think is the key, is the answer, and we want it so bad. We want it so bad. We are thirsty for it. And not just thirsty, we are parched for it. We feel like if we don't get it, then our soul would not be at rest. And if that's how you feel, but then when you do get it, you mismanage it. So shame on you for for mismanaging the very thing that you want, or not even recognizing the very thing that you want, the very thing that you pray for, the very thing that you wish for, the very thing that you hope for, the very thing that is your soul's desire, that is a burning desire deep in the inside. that very thing, that whatever that may be, whether it's love, it's finances, it's abundance, it's wealth, whatever that thing is, how dare you not be able to recognize it when you see it? How dare you mismanage it when you experience it? When it's given to you on a silver platter and you mismanage it because you're afraid of the boundlessness of it. You're afraid of the ability to be able to mold it however you want. And if we're afraid to mold something in the way that we want, what that lets me know is that we are afraid of living. We are afraid of God. Like, you seek God and you say that you love God, but do you allow him to work in you the way that he needs to work in you and through you? Do you allow it? Do you surrender? So remember, I said freedom is surrendering. So do you surrender to the call of freedom? Freedom is a call. Everyone can't handle freedom. Everyone can't trust themselves. Everyone can't trust God enough to handle freedom, to appreciate freedom. Freedom is power. Freedom is imagination. Imagination is power. So whatever your wildest imagination is, if you had the freedom enough to create your imaginations, that is powerful. That's what freedom is. That's the power that you hold with being free, with your soul being free, with your soul not being bound to anything that will restrict it. Your soul is free to live God's will for your life, because it's still in his will. It's still his will. That's the thing that we don't understand, is that we do have the what's the word I'm looking for? We have the ability to make our own decisions, but it's still within God's will. God's will for us and for Jesus. God's will for us and for our life has many roads with many little branches, all depending on the decisions that we make. So when we make this decision, then that branches off into many other decisions. That branches off into many other options, many other avenues, many other roads open. So when we feel like that we miss out on one way or on one thing, we really aren't missing out, because God has the ability to detour, to provide a detour, a different route for us to get to the same destination. So we will never, I can't say that we'll never miss it, because we definitely can miss a blessing, but will we miss it forever? We can delay a blessing. And if it's still meant in God's will for you, then you will be detoured back to it. Sometimes we have, sometimes we have things where, like, I'm not gonna go down that route because that's a whole nother topic, but destiny is at play with your freedom. It's in God's will for you to be free. It's in His will for you to live a boundless, bountiful life. It's in His will for you to use the power of your imagination. It's in His will for you to understand that your freedom is power, and that He still works in and through you in your freedom. Your freedom is an example for the masses. You taking the step, the initiative, the brave step, you being brave enough to live free, is an example for someone who has never seen that before. That's an example for someone, if they were too afraid, if they, felt like that leap was too big for them to take, if they felt like it was impossible, if they didn't feel supported. You being brave enough to be free, you being brave enough to step into your power, is an example for someone to take that leap. So the best advice that I can give is be the example that you wish that you had. Be the example that you wanted and needed to see. Be that example for someone else. Be free. Live in your freedom. Until next time.